This story comes from one of our subscribers, Sarah, who had an eerie encounter in her childhood home. Sarah remembers growing up in a century-old house her family had inherited. Her parents told her that the house had character. The creaky floors, odd drafts, and dim hallways only added to its charm. But Sarah always felt something watching her, especially in the basement, which had a locked, ancient wine cellar no one ever used. One evening, when she was around 10 years old, Sarah was home alone reading in her room when she heard soft tapping coming from the basement door. Thinking it might be a draft or a loose pipe, she tried to ignore it. But then the tapping turned into a slow, scraping sound, like nails dragging along wood. She felt her heart race and decided to stay put, convinced it was her imagination. As the scraping grew louder, she couldn't resist checking it out. She tiptoed down the hallway and saw that the basement door was open, something her parents always kept locked. But what terrified her most was the faint outline of a shadow standing at the bottom of the stairs. It was tall, with arms stretched long and thin, almost as if it was waiting for her to come closer. Frozen in fear, Sarah blinked, and the shadow melted back into the darkness. She ran to her room, locking the door, and hid under her blanket until her parents came home. When she finally told them what happened, they looked at each other nervously and admitted that strange things had been happening in the house for years. They eventually moved out, but Sarah still remembers that night, the feeling of something waiting in the shadows, the figure that lingered at the edge of the basement stairs. To this day, she never goes into any basement alone.